Well, back on the trail. Today is like September 28th, I think, or 29th is Saturday. Anyway, the Hurricane Helene came through Florida and into Georgia, hit that pretty hard, and finished off in North Carolina and a little bit in Virginia. But anyway, that's what I'm doing, a bunch of just starting the trail, sort of second section hike. Last one was in April, so I'm doing another 500-mile section now if I can. But picked a good time to start. At least it's not raining. I think the storm's pretty much washed out, but the creeks are swollen and trees galore are down on the trail. I've never seen a trail with so many trees down. It was a pretty strong storm. Rachel drove me up, her and her boyfriend. Took most of the day, and got here started hiking at 5:30. So dropped off on one road. I did try to get shuttled around Lick Creek, which unfortunately I'm going to have to cross it because we tried to find a route around it, and our maps got wiggy and stopped working, and we lost the map, and the map on far out didn't help either, but we couldn't find a good way around it. Got on one road, it was a dead-end road, and just ended up on Highway 42, which crosses the AT. Ended up getting back on trail. Finished the trail in April at mile 55, and got on trail here at 5:58 or so at Highway 42. So don't think that matters too much. We did try to avoid the creek. All right, this is the start of the second day, number 2, first full day really, and this is what it was like yesterday, just for 2 miles. I think I probably went over 10 of these type things from the storm, so it's gonna be an interesting day. That one was pretty mild compared to a few of the other tree falls that we've seen. Should be a good creek crossing, as I mentioned, coming up. Stayed outside of a shelter yesterday. Last night was a really nice camping spot. It was flat, leafy, and met a nice fella from Florida named Dennis. So he says he hasn't seen too many people on the trail. I think he said he's been hiking 44 days and hasn't gotten passed by anyone. He's seen one other hiker that he's flip-flopped, sort of bouncing back and forth with. But as expected, I think there's not a lot of people hiking, doing any section hikes or through hikes in the fall. That's kind of a mild one. That's real easy. I had one a while back I couldn't film because it was massive trees across the trail, like at least 4 or 5 that I could see, all very branchy. You couldn't see through it. You could barely see the trunks on the 5th one ahead of it, but it was like, I don't know, 40 yards of it. So I went over the ridge line to go around that and saw more further ahead on the trail. There was this big ones again, so and there was a big turn in the trail, so I could see on the map that it doglegged, so I just went over the ridge, and then I had to get down to the trail. I had to go down a really steep section, just kind of sliding down the hill on my butt, holding on to the trees, crossed the stream and got back on the trail. Don't know how much distance I saved or how many trees I saved, but anyway, a lesson learned. I think I'll probably just go immediately around the ones I can see, and if I go around another one after that, that's not a big deal. Just do it again, but rather than go cross country that far, because I could have gotten trapped above a cliff or something that was even steeper than the one it was, and nobody would know where I was, so that'd be interesting. They'd find me in a couple of years maybe. But anyway, that was kind of interesting nonetheless. Just met another SOBO hiker named Vireo. She was named after a small bird, except this girl's a redhead. I think the bird's not a redhead. But anyway, she was flip-flopping from Harper's Ferry. It was here. I think she zeroed during a storm at the next hostel ahead of me. But she was worried a little bit about how many of the trail towns south of here, which got hit pretty hard. I think Damascus and Hot Springs are both flooded, and one of them lost a bridge through town. That's what I'll have to look that up. That's what she was saying. But anyway, that could make getting resupply a little sketchy or challenging. Plus, there's probably more trees down south too, so that's gonna be tough if she's going that way. But anyway, should be coming up on Lake Creek here pretty second. She said she walked over it, and it wasn't. It was just knee deep, so it must have surged and then settled down a little bit. But anyway, got another tree crossing. This one's not too bad. Looks like I can go under it. Well, I just crossed that, except I crossed over there. It was above my knees right there. Not too bad. That says 1 foot deep. That's not accurate. It might be 1 foot deep right there. Over there it was about 2 feet deep. This would have been better crossing right there. But I guess this is the bridge that is out. It probably landed right there. We'll see. I'm assuming this is Lake Creek. There might be another one. Well, just came out on this road. If you want to call it, that's a dirt road, gravel road. Anyway, this is where we were trying to get to. I can show this without glare on it. It's right there in the center of the screen, right there. I think it's, I'm not sure, I think it's called 625. That's what we were trying to get to last night to drop me off ahead of Lick Creek, which wasn't that swollen after all, but no wonder we couldn't find this road. And it probably doesn't continue. It's got to continue somewhere, but we couldn't get to it from the side of the mountain we were on. Oh, just had lunch. Got a ridge line here, but the thing of note today is done 7 miles in 5.5 hours. So the trees are making a big difference. But right now, I'm kind of on this ridge line and someone's mowed it. So I'll take it as long as it lasts. There's even a tree down on the section that's mowed. But that's a little bitty one. Piece of cake. Really enjoying this grassy section. Probably done a half mile on this hill with nice views over here. Pretty nice. This is day 3. Should be Monday, October 1st. Had a wild camp last night at mile 575. Just about a mile short of Highway 623 up here. A couple hikers just went through early. They said there's apparently somebody that puts water jugs out there because this is a dry section of trail. It's on ridge lines, so there's no streams up here. But they said there was a tiny portion of a jug left there, so it was a dry camp last night. So I haven't had breakfast yet. I'll probably have that as soon as I find water. But I'm basically out. Got about 1 swallow of water. So there was about a quarter or a third of a gallon, probably about a quarter, at that 623 crossing. It's just a dirt road. Apparently that's the only road that crosses over from one side of the valley to the other side over this ridge. Anyway, take about a half a liter, left a little bit for the next person. But, I think there's a water crossing in about 3 miles or so. So shouldn't be a problem. Just crossing over these things. Not as many on this side, I think. Seems like some of the wind damage yesterday in the first few miles was like really intense. Maybe like a section of a tornado or just a big strong band of the storm came through there. All the trees are blown down in the same direction, and multiple trees usually. There's a few singles, or a bunch of singles, but a bunch of clusters too. Today it seems like it's just singles, dead branches that fallen out of treetops, but not the straight line winds that probably hit that other area. So I don't know if you can hear this, but there's a stream underneath this pile of rocks, which is hard to walk on, but let's see. You can see it. This is Laurel Creek. This might be my last water source before my campsite tonight, so I might just get it here. Might have to stop short of this campsite I want, because this 19 miles. I don't think I'll be at that point. It's already 1:30, so I've got a ways to go in order to get. I'm averaging like 1.5 miles an hour, something like that. It's not terribly fast. Due to the trees, there's been some trees today, not as many as yesterday, but. Well, I thought about taking a swim in there, but I didn't want to have to tape up my feet. So, just washed my shirt, did a sponge bath. Not sure about the water, but I filled up my dirty bottle with that water. If I don't find some other water, I'll probably end up using it, but if I do, I'll use the stream water if I find something good. But I feel a little bit cleaner after. It's my third day, but it was getting pretty sweaty, and it hasn't rained on me, so it's the next best thing to a shower. I'll probably send a picture of that if I can. Hard to see on wide angle, but it's been pretty nice like this all day. Mile 14.5, coming up on Interstate 77. You can hear it from here. Very noisy. I'm hoping to get across. I got enough water for a wild camp tonight, so I'm hoping to get across the interstate, and there's a campsite. I think it's now it's probably 2.5 miles away, so that's probably my target. So we'll see. This store, there's a little store up here that would have been normally a good place to get a hamburger, but they close at 2 o'clock. So a very nice view of the valley. Apparently this is the crazy spring guard grouse. Apparently he's been known to attack people. Oh, here he comes. Stay away. Yeah, you stay over there. I don't want you to peck at me. So this is probably day 4, I guess. So it's kind of dry in this section. So did a wild camp last night, and this shelter and spring off trail. We're about half a mile off trail, but from all the reports on far out, there's not a lot of water options for like the next 10 or more miles. Most of them are, of course, we had a hurricane, had rain yesterday and today, 2 days in a row. So should be good. This spring down here had standing water, it was trickling. So it tells me it was fresh enough to drink. But anyway, I got 2 bottles and a little bit extra. So that makes me feel better going forward today. I think there's a shelter. I'm in a hostel that's up ahead. Both hostels that are up ahead, I think, are closed. One of them's closed for the season or permanently, and the other one is at Weary Feet Hostel has no power. So they got hit by the storm. I guess the main option for today is resupply, or partial resupply at Trents grocery, which it's a half mile off trail at about 16 for the day. All right, I guess I'm not done with the blowdowns. Heading down to Trents grocery, about another mile, but the trail down has this stuff. That was really steep. I had to go under that and then climb up. Couldn't go through that one or over, it was too high up. So under was the best option. Oh my God. I'm hoping to get down here by 4. I don't think that's gonna happen. That's in 15 minutes. And if it's like this, the bottom of the mountain must have really got pounded, but the top wasn't as bad as this. This is pretty weird. Just made it out of the forest. Nice little meadow on top of this little ridge before I hit the road. You can tell somebody mowed it. It's appreciated. It's always good. Makes it walking very easy. All right, this is day 5. Just packing up. Didn't get a single picture of my campsite here at Dismal Creek, mile 610 on the AT. Day 5 for me on this section hike. But Dismal Creek is not too dismal. It's, since the storm, it's been flowing really good. So apparently it's a good water source. So tanked up both bottles plus a little bit extra, because I think, even though I think I hit Dismal Creek up here again, all the water stops are pretty crappy again today. There's supposed to be one that's maybe a potential at 7, and there might be a Trail Angel water stop at mile 12 near a hostel. That's the Woods Hole hostel. I wish I could go there. That would be, apparently it's a good hostel to go to. And if I need a resupply, it would be a good place to get a resupply, but I really don't have a need to go there. So maybe on another trip things will work out differently and I'll get to see that. Since I didn't get a video of Dismal Falls, this is a next little ripple above Dismal Falls. Got a lost hunting dog named Thunder out here with me. Looks like this silly dog's gonna follow me. I don't know if I should shoo him off or probably should shoo him off. He's probably not too far from where he's supposed to be. This is dog number 4. The first one, we went up the trail a little bit together. He was walking ahead of me. He wouldn't turn around, but he walked ahead of me like he knew. So I let him do that. I figured maybe that's where he came from. Sure enough, there was a dog barking in the woods, and I didn't see him anymore. So he ran off. And anyway, about another 30 minutes later, 2 other dogs come by and keep following down the trail. But they'd come from behind me and caught up with me, and so I shooed them off so they would stay back where they were. And they actually ran a little bit to try to distance. It took me about 10 tries to talk them out of following me, tell them to turn around. And ran a little bit, got over a blind hill. They lost sight of me, and I think that did it. But 2 minutes later, this guy shows up. So I don't think he knows where he's going. He's just following me. At this point, can't get too involved. They go where they go. They got radio collars on them. Somebody will find them. Might be miles away, but time for a dog update. So the black and white dog followed me, then the 2 black dogs actually turned around, caught me again, and then I stopped and called the number on the black and white dog's collar, and gave him a ring, told him where I was, and told him I was going north. I was going to be at Big Horse Gap in 1.5 miles, and those dogs kept following me and just came right as I came up on the gap. Pickup truck with a couple hunters in it pulled up and loaded them up. Turns out the first dog I saw, there's 2. Thunder, he said that's the leader, so I told the guy where I'd seen him last. I'd seen him disappear when we heard a dog on a tree barking, so he knows roughly where his other 2 dogs are, which is good. Maybe he'll find him. He says eventually they turn up, but he says the radio collars have about a 4-mile range on them, so at least he knows where to go, get near, and then maybe they can get close to him and pick up the other 2. This was the last day of bear season. So anyway, good news. Dog found a home.